I grew up with somebody in your family being bipolar or something like that. But it's not really spoken about amongst black people. And me personally, I don't know if Kanye is mentally unstable or if he's just a victim of circumstance. And I said I'll explain, right? The Kardashians. The Kardashians are an interesting group of people. Um, we'll go back to we won't go as far back as the whole OJ shit, but we'll go as back as the whole Kim and Ray J era, right? Kim and Ray J, the whole sex tape. How did that sex tape get out? How did that sex tape become a thing? Word on the street, the mother was behind it. I don't know. I wasn't there, right? But let's just say their mother was behind it. What mother do you know would exploit her daughter for profitable gain on that level? That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Kim Kardashian, right? She was a stylist or a friend of something, or Paris Hilton or something like that. Came out of nowhere. Now she's a megastar, right? Billionaire, multi-billionaire. What is her talent? What is she good at? What is she known for? Nobody knows. Something about that family to me just screams. I don't like using the word Illuminati, but I feel like they're on some next level shit. Everybody that kind of gets introduced to that family for whatever reason, when they get out, they are not the same. Ray J, what happened to him? He's selling headphones now. Reggie Bush came and went. What was his name? Chris Humphreys came and went. And we all know what happened with Lamar Odom, right? Man's perfectly fine. Next thing you know, he's a crackhead. There's something about that family that's not right. I don't know what it is. I don't know, like the inner dimensions of it all, but something is not right with that family, man. And when Kanye was like, the movie Get Out is about me, right? Maybe that's a cry for help. Maybe that's his way of trying to plant the seeds, leave the breadcrumbs to let you know that his life is not under his control. Britney Spears, look at the whole breakdown that she had. There's a whole conspiracy with that. I'll let y'all look that up. The whole conspiracy with Britney Spears, but some of these celebrities, man, they are not in control like you think. They be damned if they do, damned if they don't. And Kanye, I feel like Kanye is the type of person that doesn't like to be silenced, right? He had his whole run with, outbursts. The whole Taylor Swift situation. The whole George Bush doesn't like black people. That whole situation. He's known for having outbursts. He's known for going against the grain. Even with his music. None of his music sound the same. None of his music can be compared to anybody else that was out during that time. He's an individual. He doesn't like to be marginalized. Now all of a sudden, he goes left. People say it's because of his mother. Possibly. Possibly. I don't know. I still have my mother. I care about my mother greatly. Something were to happen to her, maybe I'll go off the rails too. I don't know. But the way he is going about it, and the way it just switched like that, nah, it has to be more, man. I'm not going for that. I'm not. I'm not going for it. If Kanye was a lot younger, let's say late teens, early 20s, and these kind of episodes were happening, maybe you would have something. But for a man to be 40, 50 years old, now just out of nowhere being labeled as, you know, clinically disturbed and he's off his meds and shit like that. Nah. I'm not hearing it, man. I think it's more to that than what meets the eye. Definitely. You can't tell me otherwise, man. How all of a sudden, you say, "Oh, you lived your whole life all this time, never broke character or anything like that. Now all of a sudden you just snap." Ah, man, nah, it's deeper than that, man. It was a scary place. That's what they say. I don't know. I'm not in Hollywood. Probably never will be. Probably don't deserve to be. I think it's more to it than that. Definitely. So let's jump into something else. What else is going on in the news? Black Lives Matter. Let's jump into that, right? BLM. I'm just picking a bunch of hot topics off the top of my head. BLM. What is my opinion on BLM? BLM as a movement. I think BLM is a good movement. It's been going on for the past, man, a while. Ever since that whole Kaepernick situation, NFL, right? I think the problem with the BLM movement now, however, is that people are almost using it as a marketing tool, trying to make it profitable. And once things like that happen, they become watered down and insignificant. And I think that's what's happening with this BLM movement. A lot of people don't even know what BLM movement is about. People think BLM movement is like the new Black Panther Party. That is not what the BLM movement is about. Black Lives Matter is just a way for a group of people to indicate to those that are not affected that Black Lives Matter, right? Police brutality. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Like that's all it's about. If you can't recognize that police are targeted more, or police are targeted, police ain't targeted by nobody. Minorities are targeted more from police than others. If you can't realize that, then something's wrong with you, in my opinion. It's right there. It's plain to see. But it's also hard to empathize with somebody when you live a life that is unaffected. So you can't be too mad at them, I guess, right? Because if I was in that position, what I want to understand, I mean, of course, I can read, I can write, right? But would I care to understand, like really understand? It doesn't affect me, so why would I care? Same as like what's going on across the world, North Korea, right? The Middle East. Do we really care about what's going on there? Do we care that North Koreans are getting held in what's deemed like a communist type of society? People in concentration camps, things like that. People that have no access to the internet. People that think that their leader is God Himself. Do we really care about that? No, we don't. It's not like we're trying to liberate them. We're like, fuck it. That shit don't apply to me. So I can understand why there's people within the country that don't really care about what goes on with black people. This has been talked about forever, man. Long before I was born, long after I die, this shit's gonna be talked about. MWA, man. Ice Cube said it best. Either they don't know, won't show, or don't give a fuck about what goes on in the hood. Straight up.